Don't argue with me. A pickup truck cannot go, even if you buy a $110,000 off-road pickup truck. I think Ford has a Raptor. I'm sure Dodge and Chevy GM have their versions of it. You cannot go to places this vehicle can go. No. Marauders, welcome back to the channel. I have a video update. Polaris Ranger XD 1500 Premium North Star that I've had for 2 years now. And many of you have been asking me to give an update review on this machine. And I don't have a lot of miles on it because I primarily use it around my property. And I'll tell you, it is an essential part. A UTV is an essential part of maintaining my property, especially me getting around my property. Quickly, my left knee 4 years ago, probably now, is bone on bone. Plus I have some other issues. And although I think I'm in good shape for my age, I use this machine as a tool caddy around my property and a camera caddy. That's important to my channel. It's important to maintaining this property. And it's an essential part of my property. Some parts of this property, like my island that's behind the camera, this is the only vehicle that I have that can access it. Maybe my Kubota 67 premium tractor. I'll see if I can get my flail mower across the creek to get on the island to clean up the island. But right now, this is the only machine I have that can get on the island. Quick facts about it. I've had it 2 years. I want to say it has about 200 miles on it. A lot of it is, although I've taken this on the trail and posted videos, Majestic Lost Trails. Took it on Majestic Lost Trails with my wife, posted a video on it. The engine and transmission is excellent on the trail. The suspension is excellent on the trail, but I would not recommend it for off-camber trails because any cab unit with glass is a little bit top heavier than a unit without glass. So I just didn't want to push the machine, especially with my wife doing off-camber trails. Medium trails, the green trails, it was fine on. Actually, the engine and transmission are outstanding. Hills are not a problem with it. Ground clearance is excellent. It's at off-camber where the top heaviness from the glass affects it. Comfort-wise, once you're in the cab, the driver is excellent. For trail riding, the passenger really needs a grab bar. My wife suffered because really she had nothing to hang on to, like other Polaris or Can-Am units have grab bars either in the armrest, hand bar, hand grip, or on the dashboard that you can grab. And I will tell you, I should look up and see if that's an option for this. I definitely would get it. That's needed on this vehicle for trail riding. Engine is 110 horsepower, 1500 cc, 3-cylinder engine. It has 105 foot-pounds of torque. Best engine Polaris ever made, hands down. This is the engine Polaris should have put in the Expedition. In my opinion, that was a huge mistake in Polaris. This engine should have went in this model, should go in other Ranger models. This should be the flagship engine for Polaris. It definitely should go in the Expedition. I haven't been tracking it, but even though it's a somewhat high performance 1000 cc engine in the Expedition, this is the engine that belongs with it. It has the torque of a diesel engine. It has quietness of a gas engine, a new diesel engine. New diesels and trucks are very quiet. And it has the performance of a diesel engine, the quietness of a gas engine, the smoothness of the best of diesel and gas engines. Very, very smooth. My opinion, it's an automotive engine. Transmission, those of you who watch the channel, my Honda Talon, Live X, I think, electronic suspension on it. That has a DCT transmission in it, basically an Africa Twin, and I traded that for a motorcycle. I will tell you, after having the Honda Talon with a DCT transmission, I vowed I would never own a CVT transmission. CVT is belt driven like a snowmobile with sprockets that adjust for your speed. DCT is like in a car or motorcycle where it actually dual clutch and it shifts through 6th gear. This is my exception. This has a electronically controlled, I believe, electronically controlled steel belt CVT transmission. It is automotive quality. Many cars, like Hondas and Toyotas or smaller cars, have now Subarus, steel belt transmissions on it, a CVT steel belt transmission. This transmission is excellent. It's just as good as the engine. It's outstanding. You would think you were driving a car. I wanted to show you this machine the way I use it. I didn't want to wash it. I didn't want to clean it. And let's give you a walk around of the machine. My facts on this machine aren't exact, so please go to the Polaris site and check it out. The tires, I believe it has at least 12 inches of ground clearance. The tires are 30-inch Kenda tires. They're excellent around my property in the snow and mud. They were excellent off the trail. That may be a 16-inch rim on it. I'm guessing it probably is. I don't know for sure. It comes with, the premium model comes with a 6,000 pound winch. It's like I can see it. 6,000 pound winch, if you can look in there. It is excellent. I don't have an excavator anymore to pull things or a track load, or to pull my tractor out if it gets stuck. I'm hoping that in a pinch this winch will work if that tractor is moderately stuck. A winch, especially with my zero turn, when I got my zero turn stuck, winches are zero turn mower. Winch is an essential component on an off-road machine or UTV. Has the tow hooks in the front, a heavy bumper on it. This is a charging port for it, which I do use to charge it. Lights, additional lights in the front bumper, which are excellent. You can put bigger tires on it. They designed it for that. The finish on the paint, if you can see that, is superb. The cab is almost automotive quality, almost automotive quality. It does not have a low speed transmission, if I remember right, because I always leave it in standard mode, but I think it has a standard mode, and then I push a button to go to low haul mode, and that's typically what I ride. Comfort is more if you're cruising on a road. Performance is more if you're riding off trail. The power tailgate, it does dump automatically. With this button you can raise and lower it. The winch is controlled in the cab. It does have heat and air conditioning, which is outstanding, and both seats are heated, which is a really nice feature, having heated seats. JBL stereo, I think they got away from Fosgate. So it does have a JBL stereo. I think it's good. Ride command on the dashboard, which is excellent. Very comfortable interior. I did debate getting a six-passenger model, and consensus was my daughter and my wife and son that I didn't need it for our property, and this fits in the garage nicely. This spends half its life, more than half its life, outside during spring, summer, and fall, and then I bring it in during the winter. So I would say, and I've never done that with any other UTV, automotive quality, I don't hesitate to leave it outside during the 3 seasons of the year. I bring it inside during the winter just to give it a little more protection, but it's excellent. The front windshield does open, pivot up. The rear windshield, I think, can be taken off, the back windshield on the unit. I'm sorry, 1,500 pounds in the box. Polaris has 1,000 accessories to go into this box section of the machine. It will pull 3,500 pounds. I think it will do that easily. So I always have a hitch in my vehicles for pulling my zero-turn mower out when I get stuck. I haven't done that lately. Or if I have to pull the tractor out, I'll strap something to it. So I just leave that ball hitch in there. 2-inch insert on it. I do always put two big things I recommend is a winch for a UTV or side-by-side, and also rock guards on the bottom. And these are Polaris rock guards. And then I'm a big fan of bumpers. This is more like a brush guard that I put on. I never aired that video, but I always want to protect the bumper on the machine, especially when you ride off-road. This is how I use it, as a tool caddy. I use it to drive around my property, carrying my tools in it. Most of the time it's chainsaws, doing some grass trimming. I wanted to trim around some things that I didn't want to run over with a tractor, because my We've had a very wet spring, and my woods the grass is 3 to 4 feet tall. So I trimmed around a fire pit back there because I don't want to hit it with my flail mower on the Kubota tractor. What do you need to know? Let's look inside. Camera caddy. I use it for my YouTube channel around the property. My camera, my drone is in here. My cameras are in here, extra batteries, head protection. I wear a shirt, drinks for me, some snacks. I'm a diabetic, keep my blood sugar up. It does come with a rear view mirror. It does, I think I had to add the side mirrors. I may have had to add the side mirrors, I can't remember. That might have been an option. I might have had to wait for those side mirrors, which another thing I think is essential is side mirrors for it. But the machine is excellent. I need to give you a look. I'll give you a look at the engine. When you start it, you do have to put your foot on the brake. Amazing, isn't it? Just Cadillac, the Cadillac of UTV engines. Very quiet, very smooth. It has to be 4 valves per cylinder. You can see the multi-port injection on it. The transmission is, I believe it's in front of it. Just a great setup. Look at the springs on the rear end, 1,500 pound carrying capacity. It's quiet. This is the pretty side of the engine. Let's give you a look on the other side. Dump box. The box area is large. Not the easiest, the oil, to check the oils down there. I think the Polaris could have thought about that a little better. I believe this is the air conditioning pump is there. Oil filter is there. I think air filter says it's green. Not a lot of miles on the machine, but 2 years of use. Lift tailgate, the dump mechanism, I believe it's an electric screw drive, is very good. Very strong, but the engine is amazing. I can't tell you how great it is. I'd highly recommend this machine. There was a big debate when Polaris introduced the XD 1500. Big controversy, a lot of negative people on YouTube commenting that it costs as much as a pickup truck and you're better off buying a pickup truck. This cost as much as probably a new commercial pickup truck, a very lightly equipped pickup truck, or a nicely equipped used pickup truck, probably 2 to 3 years old. Now pickup trucks are 80 to 90,000. This vehicle, I want to say new, is about 40,000. And I trade vehicles, so I just don't plunk down 40,000 on a vehicle. I trade vehicles. When a vehicle has a good trade-in value, and my shout out to Pioneer Motorsports, they give me great trade values on my vehicles, I'll upgrade. Simple. For people who are being ridiculous, totally ridiculous. If you maintain your property, and a majority of your property to maintain it, you're driving on roads, and you have to drive on a road to get to your property or use that vehicle, that equity in your vehicle, to drive to the doctor's office, grocery store, take your kids to school, or do your full-time job, then get a pickup truck. If most of your work maintaining your property is on grass or in the woods, or you're on trails or off-road, if a majority of it is that, then you have to get a utility vehicle for that, hands down. I'm telling you, I've owned pickup trucks. I've been driving pickup trucks ever since I was 16 years old, and even before I was 16 years old, maintaining them in our company. I can tell you, even the best off-road pickup truck from the factory will not hold up as well as a good UTV off-road. It will not, just because it is so heavy. It will not go the places, both in width and height, that a UTV can go off-road. I am telling you, don't argue with me. A pickup truck cannot go, even if you buy a $110,000 off-road pickup truck. I think Ford has a Raptor. I'm sure Dodge and Chevy, GM have their versions of it. You cannot go to places this vehicle can go. No way would it cross my creek. No way would it go on 64-inch wide trails up the Stonehill. You would wreck it. You would wreck a pickup truck doing that work. So, if you're riding, if you're maintaining your property, a majority of it is off-road, and even if you're running gravel roads, dirt roads a majority of the time, and you're not hauling 10,000 pounds, 15,000 pounds, which you'd probably do with a tractor, with a trailer cart on it, a UTV is the way to go. If a majority of your work for your vehicle is on road and maybe less than 50%, 40%, 30% is off-road, and it's a groomed off-road, then I'd say go with a pickup truck, don't buy these. But for people who say that you're better off buying a pickup truck rather than buying this vehicle, it depends on your application, and it's a stupid statement. Flat out stupid statement. Evaluate how you're using the vehicle and you make it a determination from that. And I no longer have a pickup truck anymore, which I miss my truck. Kind of getting old. Can't have those vehicles in the driveway anymore. I hope that adds some clarity to that debate. I've never discussed it before in a video, and I wanted to because it angered me in the beginning. Evaluate what your needs are for the vehicles, for your vehicle, whether it's mainly off-road, mainly on-road, and make a decision from there. Some may be able to afford a pickup truck and a tractor and this vehicle to maintain your property and other equipment. I don't know your financial position or even how much you want to spend on your vehicles to maintain your property. The grade I would give this, flat out a 10, an A. It's excellent. Stereo is not the best sound quality, but I really don't listen to the stereo that much. Ride command is excellent, as good as any navigation system in any vehicle, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Ford premium trucks, GMC premium trucks, as good as any navigation system in any of those vehicles, maybe even better. But the stereo is good, it's not great, like my Harley-Davidson. My Road Glide stereo is amazing, sound-wise. I think you have to test ride it, evaluate it for yourself, and make a decision. The engine is the best. And I used to own Can-Am Defenders, which that V-twin Can-Am engine, 1000 cc's, is a great engine. Sucks to service. Horrible engine to service. Where the Rangers, and generally Polarises in general, including their ATVs, are much easier to service than Can-Am products. Can-Am, welcome Can-Am. If you want to give me a Defender to put up against this on my property, I'll do a fair review of it. And I won't bash it, but I'll give a fair review of it. I did like my Defender. I think that's it, guys. I'm not going to keep this long. Please consider subscribing to my channel. That's how we keep score. Appreciate you taking your valuable time to watch my videos. Love your comments. Please ride safe, whatever you're riding, mowing, tractoring, riding off-road on an ATV, side-by-side UTV, or on a motorcycle. Ride safe and in peace. May God bless you. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you on the trail. Haven't said that in a while. She's awesome. Little fire action. That was from last fall. I hope that will smolder and burn away. Great machine. Great machine. Highly recommend it. Woohoo! More videos to come on that.